Are we recording? Is that naughty little tale on tape?
Yeah.
Oh, Jason. Okay. Welcome to
canceled.
Western Mass Cancel Culture. No. Okay, now we're beginning. Western Mass Comedy Group, stay in the loop, you Snoop. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Boop. Boop.
Boo.
Boop,
All right. Boop.
boop.
We're working on that intro. Thank you guys for being patient. If you have tuned in to Western Mass Comedy Group, stay in the loop, you Snoop. Boop, boop.
Boop, boop.
There we go. That's the pulse boop, boop, of truth, you guys. Something that the Huffington Post is equally disposed to not doing. They emailed me and apologized because I used to write for them, and they said they've been watching and they've been reconsidering their stance on modern politics. So they asked me to submit 400 words on how to discover the truth within common media. So I wrote it. 399 words, very respectful, sticking behind the 400 word mark, and I submitted it to the website through my user account, and it said, access denied, sucker. So then I take the headline. So then I take the headline for my article, which I had also posted on my personal blog, and I typed it in, and guess how many search entries there are below? All written by writers for the Huffington Post blogs, using my article and putting their name on it. So that's plagiarism.
Yeah, it is.
Big time.
You got him by the balls there.
Yeah, well, that's why you say one thing and they twist it into a different thing, and we're not going to rely on the Huffington Post for news anymore. We've given them shots. They've been harassing Ryan and Jason. Ryan, have they been harassing you at all?
Not as much as I would like them to, but they've been stationed in the trees outside my house with long range telephoto photography machines and using laser pointers to make me think that I'm about to be assassinated at all manner of the day and night. I'm sick of it.
I don't know why you want
more of that.
More of that, yeah, exactly. Why would you want? Is it
I want it to be different. You know, I want some cleverly worded signs or possibly web videos. That's the form that I would like my harassment to take. And
I don't want to sound mean, but just because you're in an environment similar to one that Jason Bourne may find himself in, doesn't mean that you, in fact, are a badass rogue spy running from the federal government.
Shots fired, shots fired.
No. I mean no offense by that. I know it sounds mean.
Oh, okay. No. Ryan knows he's not a special agent, but they know that about Ryan, and they will not cease because they don't identify themselves as the Huffington Post. That's their trick, you know.
Black Ops.
Ubiquitous. Black Ops. That's right.
That's right.
Huffington Post Black Ops section.
Disappearing people on the streets of Seattle. Huffington Post vans running out there and grabbing white Americans off the streets.
No good.
We're gonna get greenlit for truth telling.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord! You know what they've been doing to me, you guys? I woke up last night and I leave my windows open so I can get some fresh air while I sleep. And there was this gaseous stuff coming in through my window, and I looked to all four windows, and there were red beaming eyes. So 4 people were injecting some kind of gas into my room. It smelled a little bit like reefer, and when I woke up, I felt a little bit more impressionable, you know? So I think what they're doing, this gaseous jet, is a mixture between THC and some other chemical that, when absorbed, makes you more willing to just take on the crazy, insane, twisted viewpoints of the Huffington Post. So if I seem a little pro Huffington Post today, which probably won't, probably that gaseous stuff that they were blowing into my window last night.
Mind controlled.
Are you sure it was like 4 people doing a gas, or is it possible that it was in fact an entity with 8 eyes?
Oh.
Or that the gas gave you quadruple vision. It was one person.
Well, I could see their chins, actually. That's a good idea, but I couldn't make anything out other than their red beaming eyes and their single chins, and it was spread out in a weird way that one of his eyes would have had to have been off to the side.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been able to see you if like the chin and the
Yeah.
eyes weren't kind of affixed in the same general position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would
Terrifying.
want to be seeing me with all 8 eyes at once.
If it was a
doesn't make
gaseous entity, then the eyes would just kind of float around like bubbles in a boba tea.
They might have. I fell asleep really quickly afterwards, and I woke up, and I kind of am still not sure if it was a dream. And that's what the Huffington Post does.
Are all your internal organs intact?
Who knows, man? I was vomiting blood this morning, so maybe not.
Well, the same thing happened to me, except that when I was laying there in bed, um, I saw them coming like a mile away, and I grabbed my katana and jumped to my feet, and I struck the first one down, and a fountain of blood emerged, causing the distance to become obscured. And so I kicked his torso over into his friends, who were coughing up all this like bong smoke out of their mouths. They were like really quickly hitting bongs and like blowing it into my room.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah. So like it was kind of a little over the top for me to cut one down right there, but they were in my house.
And yeah, they mind controlled you.
They were trying.
They didn't succeed, as far as we know.
I hate the Huffington Post. I hate the Huffington Post.
Okay.
I love the I love the Huffington Post.
That is how they blow their cover every time, though, is the reefer smoke. You think they quit taking such big bong rips right outside your window? They didn't want to be noticed.
Can't help themselves.
You think they just like compress it into like some kind of chamber and then release it on this into the site, through like a tube or something? But instead they just like get right in there, start like hitting the bongs.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I went. One of them's okay actually, because I don't usually smoke weed, and I was just in my kitchen, and I could tell it was just one of them. Jerry, I don't know if you guys know Jerry, but he gives us he started giving me inside information, which I can't reveal yet because I have to check the sources. But I took a few hits. I don't usually smoke, but I took a few hits with Jerry in my backyard.
That's cool. How's Jerry?
He's a little overwhelmed because he's playing both sides, and he's worried he's gonna get caught by the Huffington Post. Yeah, but he's been giving us some secret information, and all he asks is you give him like a little break spot to toke some reefer.
Well, he's always welcome to sit in my backyard and take a big old snort of the bong.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what's been going on with the Huffington Post and us. Nothing really has changed. No ceasefire, no white flag has been waved. Unfortunately, the way media plays out nowadays, it's one side here and one side the other. But we, on this side, we're the ones who deliver the truth. So.
Yeah, and we'll stand here and stand up for Huffington Post every day of the week.
Stand up to them, not for them.
That's what I said.
Oh, mind controlled.
Oh, man. Jason, see, you just said stand up. No, you said stand up for the Huffington Post.
I did.
We'll review the tape later. But
I surrender.
You can't
Brian,
surrender.
you heard it.
We're just about to start fighting. You can't surrender now. None of us are raising white flags. We're all standing beside the Huffington Post.
Beside them? You're being really unclear with your language. It sounds like you're hanging out with them, maybe even taking a hit off their reefer joints.
Listen, we've all been partially mind controlled, and I don't think it does us any good to go pointing fingers because we've all been partially mind controlled.
It's true. They're turning us against each other.
Black Ops ninjas.
Yeah, we can't start calling each other out, just because each one of us individually may or may not be a rogue agent who is in fact working for the Huffington Post.
You're sowing more fear, Jason.
What I'm trying to say is that we can't be paranoid about it. We can't look at the Huffington Post as some kind of like enemy when in fact, like, they're our friend.
Just
we can't turn on each
other. Just 4 guys smoking reefer outside your windows. That's all they are.
We can't turn on each other.
Friendly, yeah.
I'm imagining one of those, like, construction workers have those, like, platforms they do work on.
Like
I
a
guess,
scaffolding.
A scaffolding, yes. Like 4 of them each at a window.
Like an
having
I-beam.
Yeah, having a weed smoking post. 6 feet apart, though.
Or like window washers where they are going up and down.
Yeah,
like a pulley system.
Puff and reefer, yeah.
I like the image of like two construction workers arguing over the difference between an I-beam and an H-beam.
They're the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tilted sideways. That's like the M&M factory thing.
Well, H comes before I in the alphabet, so would that mean H is a better scaffold type?
Well, and age comes before beauty too. So you
So
know,
H
I've heard that.
if it
So I guess
maybe
it's
not
H.
confirmed.
H beams, then, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of H beams, I'm here in Holyoke. Bad joke. Sorry, that's dark. I got a show. I like promoting my show this Saturday. It'll be too late for you to go to it by the time you see this, unless you've invented a time machine. But I'm playing. I'm doing stand up at something called Slim January called it the Leprechaun's Triangle, which just sounds really ominous for a place to do comedy. It sounds like a bunch of triangles, a bunch of leprechauns are going to flank you in triangle format and have those weird knives with the triangle blades.
I'm just
You're
picturing
trying
like
to do
an
stand
Irish.
up and they're jabbing you.
I'm just picturing like an Irish like triad of like gangs, you know.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
the 3 gangs in like middle Western Mass, like urban Western Mass. The 3 Irish gangs. One from Springfield, one from Holyoke, and the other is from Chicopee.
I think that's what he's actually doing because it markets it on the flyer saying having his favorite stand-ups from 3 different areas. So I think he just encompassed and folded all the stand-ups into a weird Irish murdering scene.
It sounds like a dance move that a stripper would do.
The
Like,
Irish
yeah,
triangle.
she's good, but can she do an Irish triangle?
It's where you like sort of interpose yourself around the pole, like into this like triangular shape, but like manage to swirl like around the pole like a hula hoop.
Yeah.
On someone's waist.
Probably have to have red hair to do it too. It's the Irish thing. You're not allowed if you're not Irish and have red hair to do the Irish triangle on the strip.
I was thinking like maybe Irish triangle has something to do with like if the dancer like spits on you a little bit and it ends up in flecks that look like freckles, you know?
Good. We have to ask Slim January / Jim Flannery, but he must be Irish because he wrote in the group post. I'm not talking shit. It's just hilarious. I've been a dork creating my own shows too. He's like, in case you're worried about it, here's how safety will work. And he made a video, and like the picture for the video is him in Irish garb.
Is he wearing a mask?
I don't think so. I think he's just, I forget what he's wearing, but he's wearing some kind of like, he went in on it. I'm proud of him for just going full dumb.
Full
dumb.
Commitment.
My boss at Packard's made these pins. You know Packard's, Ezra.
Oh yeah, I used to do coke there all the time.
I appreciate that.
We beat the bug. Packard's 20 COVID-19. Always safe inside or outside.
Tempting fate, I feel like.
I know. Like saying we beat the bug. That is like
in the middle of it
vaccine
still going on.
Yeah, we had 500. We've had more cases the past 2 days than the whole time. We had like 518 cases yesterday.
Yeah, we've hit
You gotta knock out
200,000 deaths. Yeah, I mean it's optimistic. It doesn't cause any harm. You know, it's not like people are going to see the pin and be like, "Oh, I guess Packard's is COVID free somehow." You know.
Even though that's surprising how dumb people are.
I mean, it definitely is COVID free so far as I know.
Oh wait, like, can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's Slim January's brief safety thing.
We can't hear anything.
You can't hear it?
This shit's
No.
hilarious, though, this pin. And I don't think it causes any harm. Try sharing your screen. Or,
Hold
hey,
on,
you
I'm
know
trying.
what? Check this
If you
shit out.
come to our restaurant, we will give
Could you
a
guys hear
free
that?
plate of waffle fries.
No.
You
Is that
can't
for
hear him do that?
sanitizing?
Could you hear that at all?
No.
No? Oh, fuck. I don't know why I just kept on asking. I was just hoping no sounded like yes for some reason.
You just wanted
Anyways.
like one little indication of...
Yeah. He went in. He is wearing a green, opened Irish jacket, I guess, and a white shirt with 4-leaf clovers on it. And he even has a red and white bow tie right here. And a rainbow flag in the background. And, well, I don't want to talk too much about Flynn January. He's a good guy.
So
He put me on a show. I just like the dorkiness of... we've gotten dorky with our shows, you know? You might as well go full goof.
It's comedy. I mean, like, no one's
comedy.
gonna-
Go goof.
No one's
Yeah.
gonna be like, oh, I'm super serious. I'm Batman.
If you're afraid
I
to look
will.
ridiculous,
That's why I'll
you're
be there.
never anything funny.
You'll never fucking make it.
It's true.
Well, you know
Unless
how
care.
sometimes there's comedians who try to be like still cool. You know, they're like, I don't
Mhm.
want to look ridiculous, and still
Mhm.
try to be funny, and generally they're not.
Yeah, like they're defending some... Like like their mom is gonna like disown them if they say the wrong thing.
Or like their friends from high school are gonna come in and be like, "Hey, what are you doing? Acting a fool? You gotta be, you know,
Yeah, right.
cool
Yeah.
at all times. You gotta
Neil
represent."
Brennan actually
Yes.
strikes me a little bit as being like a little overly cool.
I'm not a huge fan.
I like his.
Controversy.
Yeah.
Do you see 3 mics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked some of it a lot.
It was that
He's
like
like-
kind of white pretentious thing a little bit. I mean, not to like overly criticize that sort of thing, but it definitely felt like, I don't know, like I'm a hip white guy, like,
Too cool for school?
yeah.
Well, I don't know how much need I have for high concept stand up. Like physically, it'd be like, not only am I going to tell jokes, but I'm also going to run around.
Yeah, and tell
Have you
stories.
Run around. Stand up. It's called stand up. Just stand there.
Just stand there.
Yeah.
That's not
Just
true. That's not true at all, dude. Though there's great.
Yeah, I know. I
physical
pace
comics.
around nervously in life
Yeah.
and on stage, but
No, you do a straight back and forth, and you like end your line when you get here, go over here, end your line here, go over here, end your line. You're like one of those metronomes. Yeah.
yeah, you gotta trying to. That was the weird thing about doing comedy at Packard's, because
Timing.
it was in the back of like that round room, so there were
Nowhere
so
to
many
go.
places to look that. Well, you're trying to go around in a circle, and you're walking around that stripper's pole in the back, trying to somehow make eye contact with everybody, and
I actually like
you're
that.
Is this what Dane Cook goes through every night?
Probably. I actually
Oh,
like that because you can
sanitizing.
do a lot of. You can do a lot of like, I said this. Now I'm saying this. And you feel like you're a rotating chair of entertainment.
Stalking the stage like a
Talking the
lioness.
stage. I won second best joke. First best joke at Packers Lounge comedy open mic once. And I'll never forget it. What a great feeling it is winning an open mic prize after
Cash?
9:30 at Packard's. Yeah.
Yeah, feels good.
Yeah, it does.
That's
Ryan, remember that night we got shit tanked together at Packard's when I was mid relapse?
Yeah, that was pretty
That was a fun night, right?
Yeah, it was.
Where we were there for the open mic, and then I was like, I'm drinking again.
Yeah.
I'm drinking again, and I really like drinking. Let's chug back some shots and be ready. I like alcohol. I'm sober now, but because it allows you to be a rowdy boy.
It's true.
Yeah, a rowdy type. Let you cause a row.
It's the
Fracas.
easiest way to turn an introvert into an extrovert.
You'll be causing fracases across town before you know it on that booze.
You'll be getting kicked out of all kinds of places. Hey,
Yeah.
have you not been kicked out of places in
No.
long enough?
Yes.
Try alcohol.
I got kicked out of Tully O'Reilly's with a trespassing warrant because I almost got in a fight the week before. So yeah, I'm not allowed at that bar anymore. That bar sucked anyways. Tully O'Reilly's and what was the other one?
I've been cut off, but I've never been like legit kicked out. You know?
Yeah.
Like
I've
had them be like, you're too drunk. Like you gotta go, or like I'm not serving you. You know? But I've never actually been like, hey, you're not allowed here anymore because you're being too much.
I was being a dick. Yeah, I was all like poked up.
It's like there's a magic line between
my
when a bartender gives you a glass of water and you're like, oh, that's considerate, and when you're like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's a thin line.
I don't need your charity, you fucking blue collar.
When you're like, hey, hey, another one, and he's like, how about a glass of water? And you're all defensive about it. You're like, glass of water?
Fuck you. Water is for pussies. Just
yeah. I'm 75% water. I don't need any more.
That's a good point. Oh, there's this guy, John, who goes to AA meetings. He's around downtown Northampton. He's like 5'5", slightly disabled,
now, huh?
but hilarious. And he's always like chain smoking Black and Milds. And this one time, me and my friend were like, John, you look so dehydrated. You should drink some water. And he had the most brilliant response ever. He was like, oh, I drank plenty of water back in the 90s.
So good.
He's like,
back when it was free.
He took care of it. What he's basically saying is like, don't worry, I dealt with hydration in the 90s. I'm good. Don't worry about me. It's like a camel.
Yeah.
He's like a camel.
You're making me want a free roaming blue light, black light. What kind of light is that? LED blue?
It's UV actually. I got it at the AutoZone. It was like $30, and it goes between two. Flashlight, and then turn it on again. Oh, I think I did that twice accidentally. Yeah.
Makes me feel like I'm doing this podcast from the dentist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you stop shining the flashlight into the eyes of the viewer, please?
See, I actually like it because it's making reality bend. It's like, did you ever see the movie The Color of Space?
I haven't seen that yet.
I like it a lot, but it revolves around a creepy space light that bends reality, not unlike that LED flashlight. So
yeah,
welcome to The Color of Space, the podcast.
I'm trying so hard to stay inside this dimension. You know what I'm saying? Screw the time-space continuum. I'm just trying to get in the moment of now.
I like to embrace all possibilities. So that's why I worship Cthulhu, because he's inevitable.
One up in my spirituality again, Jason, with a multi-god.
Back-to-back Lovecraft references there.
I've read some Lovecraft.
That's right.
Whole HP.
Good old hit point.
Ooh. So the movie we chose for today, I don't know if we're going to get into it yet, because we got some news articles maybe to cover. Sound good, you guys?
Let's go for it. Yeah.
Okay. I want your guys, this is the reacts section of the show. Neither Jason nor Ryan know the news article coming, and what we do is we get their hot reacts to this story today. Is Illinois man keeps sandwich Richard Nixon half ate 60 years ago. An Illinois man, I knew Jason would like this, recently celebrated the 60th anniversary of the day he grabbed then Vice President Richard Nixon's unfinished sandwich when the politician was visiting his hometown of Sullivan to give a speech. Sounds like he just grabbed it. Sounds like he just...
I have two questions right from the bat.
Okay.
First is, what condition has he kept it in for all these years?
Great
and
question.
Second, the purpose of getting Richard Nixon's half-eaten sandwich, is it for that sweet tricky dick DNA?
Okay.
In order to make a clone, or somehow bring back the former president.
That would be crazy.
Get some of that
Could be.
dick mayo.
Well, I guess he just took a bite of it, so it must have been preserved. It says
his saliva would have been on there.
He took a couple of bites and commented how tasty, how good it was.
I wonder what kind of sandwich it was.
I can tell
Does
you.
it
Great
say?
questions. It's a buffalo sandwich. Buffalo barbecue sandwich.
Buffalo
60 years
barbecue?
old.
So they combined buffalo sauce and barbecue sauce, and that's it?
That sounds good,
Is there
actually.
chicken in there?
It's
Buffalo
just
It's
sauce.
2 sauces with some lettuce and tomato.
Can I get some mustard on it?
Okay, this is crazy.
It's good.
This guy is like a fetish. Well, no, okay, so
Is
Gene,
there a sexual component?
he's not gonna.
7 years ago.
There we go. This is a good sandwich, but I can only eat half of it because I'm
This
so
is a good
hungry.
sandwich.
This is.
I imagine the guy like vacuum sealed it.
Oh,
and
I found it.
Every couple years he brings it out, makes his family like sit around it, be like, "Dad, I don't want to look at the sandwich anymore." Shut up, Ichabod.
Okay, you guys want an answer to one of your questions?
Shut your mouth and open your eyes. Yes.
About how we preserved it. Jen brought the sandwich home to his mother and asked her to preserve it, so she put it in a jar and stuck it in the freezer. Stayed there until.
I knew they put it in a jar. I don't know how I knew, but I knew.
So you're a genius, probably.
I guess that's just what I would do. I would put it in a jar. They probably
It's in his
didn't
own
have
freezer.
Ziploc bags in the 50s. Oh wait, Nixon. That was like in the 70s.
60s?
I didn't think they would have had buffalo
60s.
sauce back then at a restaurant.
I don't know. All these
I feel like
arbitrary
buffalo sauce
questions.
is a pretty new trend.
Man,
You guys want to hear?
eat some buffalo chicken tenders at Packard's.
Barbecue buffalo.
Oh, okay. You guys want to
Maybe
hear?
it was actually. Sorry.
No, you guys want to hear the comments, the hot reacts from other people below this story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ew.
This guy's saying something similar to you guys. He's never heard of a buffalo BBQ sandwich before. Is it a spicy BBQ sandwich from New York? Or is it made with bison meat that's been barbecued?
That's what I was about to say. That is exactly what I was about to say.
I didn't even think of that possibility that it could be buffalo, like an actual buffalo.
Actual buffalo.
It makes more sense than combining the sauces.
Where was this? Was this like in the Midwest?
Illinois?
Illinois? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Illinois.
Yeah, it probably was buffalo.
So it's been. I don't think he's planning on eating it. Imagine if he ate it. If he ate it, I feel like this is like the way a serial killer keeps a piece of a person's body in their freezer. You know what I mean? To remember it by. But this guy was like a huge Nixon fan, and the closest he ever could get to loving Nixon without taking his life was taking that half a sandwich. The other choice we all know with celebrities is taking their life.
He's also
When you
got a
feel
jar
too
in the
close to
freezer
it.
of his fingernail clippings.
Probably. He's probably a witch.
Probably like, it was my goal to get a half-eaten sandwich from every president during my lifetime, but I failed and I only have 4.
Yeah, I guess it was Nixon who said. I was wondering if it was Nixon or that if the guy who took it even took a bite out of it. It doesn't sound like it sounds like he just grabbed it off the tray and held on to it. But before that, it was Nixon. I'm pretty sure who said, "How tasty! How good this is!"
Before discarding half of it.
Yeah, classic Republican.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like a politician through and through. Like that's not
Yeah.
even like that's just all politicians. Delicious. It's like throw the
I'm
rest of it
hoping-
away.
I'm hoping he actually said it in that Shakespearean way. Like he took a bite and was like, "How delicious! How good it is!"
Yeah, I know.
Fine.
Forsooth, the sandwich will
A sandwich.
will remain in the stars beyond my ken.
I wonder if Nixon. Wow, this is dumb. Nixon's dead, right? Yeah, Nixon.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a real son of a gun, huh? Tricky dick.
Hey, at least he had the decency to resign when he got caught being shady.
I actually like Nixon. Well, it's only because I watched this documentary, and I guess after he was impeached, it was good. This like wannabe millionaire like set up a 3 interview day thing with Richard Nixon, and Richard Nixon just fucking like owned the guy. Like the guy was like, I'm gonna get into Nixon's head and ask the important questions, and Nixon was like, it's interesting you ask that. Make it sound like a bad thing. I think it's a great thing, and gave reasons why. And then if the guy was like, I think it's a great thing, Nixon would be like, no, here's why it's a terrible thing. And he just got pwned. So Nixon can pwn. I like Nixon because he could pound.
I sympathize with Nixon because I also can never not have a 5 o'clock shadow, and I think it really
Pro Nixon.
him at times because like he'd been up all night, he looked slovenly, but you know, not everybody can have a completely clean shaven face. Sometimes it just grows too fast.
Yeah, and they're not
Can we
even
then-
allowed
Come on,
to grow out
Nixon.
beards. Like, when's the last president to have a beard? James Buchanan?
Oh, that's
I
a
don't
good
know.
question. Are they allowed? I bet they're allowed to.
Yeah, it's
Is it in
They
the
can get away with
Constitution?
it.
The secret rules?
I don't know. Abe
Do you
Lincoln
think
had
Trump
a
can even
beard.
grow a beard?
Truman had a
I'm trying to
mustache and a
know.
goatee
Good question.
while vacationing in Key West, Florida.
Key
Oh,
West.
shit. That's the funniest
Key
part of
West.
that.
Key-
The last president to have facial hair was on vacation in Florida.
I like how Florida is either a place where rich people go to like vacation and get secret blowjobs, or like a place where you run from your life and start smoking meth in a swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One or the other.
I would be the meth swamp thing, Florida man. You too, Ryan.
I'd be like a beach bum, like a
Beach
fisherman.
bum.
Yeah.
I'd be like a
Like a moondog.
yeah,
I'd be in the swamps. I'd be off in the
I'd be-
docks by the swamps.
hanging out on the beach, playing a piccolo or something.
Swamp
Or
man. Or
busking.
not
Yeah.
swamp man. Florida man. Yeah. Jason, what kind of Florida man would you be? Jason, if your life was to go like way downhill to Florida, but you could even it out with your own person, Florida man style, how would you deal with that?
Okay, so we're talking about we're talking about like a rock bottom kind of crash that I somehow elegantly land in a way that looks cool and in such in a Florida manner of speaking.
That's the game. Yeah.
Okay. It'd probably be catching a crocodile and then skinning it and wearing its skin, and then like running around in crocodile skin, like in a park, you know.
Be like Joe.
Skinning a crocodile sounds so arduous. It
Yeah,
sounds
that skin is
they have
tough.
such tough skin.
Yeah,
They
it's a
do.
very meticulous process, but meth will.
Oh hell, yeah.
It's a hell of a
There's
drug.
no way to do it without meth.
Yeah.
Well, because gator hunting can take a long time sometimes, so you might need some meth. I like gator hunting. It's so unsportsmanlike. Like all the other ones, you have to wait around. Like gator hunting, they just put a stake in the ground with some meat and show up with their rifles. And, like wait for its head to pop out of the water, just like kapow!
Yeah, but they
Flat,
eat like
get
babies
to
and
punch
shit.
down on it.
Like
Ooh.
a crocodile will full on just like snag a child for
Yeah,
for
but there's no
snacking on it.
children. There's no children.
Hey, that was
They're
mine.
going into the swamp environment.
Yeah, I was gonna eat that.
Yeah, I was gonna eat that child. That's what the gator would say.
Yeah,
That
yeah. I'm
was
not
a
saying
fun
like
game.
I guess I'm just justifying hunting crocodiles and gators because they don't seem to mind eating us.
You know what I'd be doing? I'd be giving stick and poke tattoos at like motorcycle rallies.
Yeah.
That's what I would be doing as a Florida man.
With no mask on your face.
No motorcycle, yeah, just meth.
No motorcycle.
Just my stick and poke, just lonely going around to motorcycle bike gangs asking like, stick and poke tattoos, $50,
$5.
$5.
$5
$5
per
a
star.
poke.
You want a
Yeah.
star?
Oh,
$5.
I'm really good at stars.
I make the best stars. Look at all these stars. You just like hold up your like arm full of stars.
Can you give me a
That would be
lion?
better
Give
than
me a
that, I
star.
I think I'd be better than that. Oh, speaking of art, can I show you guys a piece of art? We were talking about monetizing this. This is pretty dope. This is for sale for $50. It's a historical moment. It's when Joe Louis knocked out this Nazi motherfucker Max Schmeling right before World War II.
He's ripped.
So he is ripped. This guy had taken the heavyweight champ from Joe Louis, who was an African American guy. And Joe Louis said, "Don't call me tough until I fight Max Schmeling again." And this was right before World War II. Max Schmeling, he wasn't a Nazi, but he was, unintentionally allied with German forces. And I wrote the details up top. He knocked him out, round 1 TKO. See? I got all the deets on it. It's a historical moment. You can see the blue figures in the background sitting in their seats. $50, y'all. $50.
I'm picturing like an alien finding this at some point in the future and using it to like basically reconstruct American history.
That'd be dope.
Like that could be
I have all the details on it.
It's gonna be in your history book someday.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the history books. That piece of history, I bet it's already in the history books.
It is. You can type that in that fight. It's one of the most famous knockouts fights. Probably top 5 most famous fights, boxing fights. Yeah. That is. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's talk about Labyrinth. You guys
Let's
ready
talk about Labyrinth.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
This movie is so weird.
It is.
There's so many things about it that are weird.
Can I pose weird question number 1 about this?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we can go into detail about this. We know that David Bowie wants this baby and wants to keep it. We don't know why though. I think it's because
I wrote that down.
Yeah, because he's a human in this goblin world, so he can't just bang goblins and make human baby. Well, he couldn't bang. Anyways, he wants the baby so he can be a dad, I guess, and he can't be a dad otherwise.
Well, I think it doesn't explain
like
but
kill
the
it.
thing that would make the most sense is if he wanted like an heir. Somehow he thinks that the goblins must be ruled by a human. And so he needs to kidnap a baby to train, like a Charlie in the Chocolate Factory situation, where he's kidnapping the baby to train it to be the new Goblin King, which still doesn't make that much sense.
No. Jason, why do you think David Bowie or Jared? Okay, I have other weird questions.
Jared.
Why do you think David Bowie wanted the baby?
With a TH,
okay.
Jareth.
So
yeah. Oh, Jareth. My bad. Sorry, Jared.
Sorry,
Goblin King.
I'm gonna start with point A, which is that initially Michael Jackson was going to play the role of Jareth.
Oh shit.
So I think it would have made more sense if it was Michael Jackson trying to abduct the child. But
that's dark.
I would like to see that.
Yeah.
That's dark.
B, I'd like to refer to the lyrics from Magic Dance. In which Jareth says, "You remind me of the babe." The goblin says, "What babe?" And he responds, "The babe with the power." The goblin asks, "What power?"
Oh.
And he says, "The power of voodoo." "Hoodoo," says the goblin. "You do."
Yeah.
"Do what?" "Remind me of the babe." So, I think what he's saying is that by some mystical means, this child has some like occult power.
He's around goblins, though. What's cooler in terms of that's a rhetorical question. I think you're right. Yeah, so he would like join because assumably Jareth has magical forces, but he wants a predecessor, I guess, or the opposite of a predecessor.
Okay, so not to argue with myself, but
go for it. That's the way to do it.
I've always been confused about one thing, and that's when he says "babe." Is he talking about the baby, or is he talking about the girl running around in the labyrinth?
I think
that is a good question that I hadn't even considered.
Yeah. Does he plan keeping her around? You know what I mean? He never says he's gonna kill her.
Oh, well, hey, that's another thing. Maybe he was using the baby as leverage to get her to come to the labyrinth. Because so the labyrinth is like a mystical place, like
he could bang her,
right? And so like in order to enter into the Fey realm, you have to either be a child or enter willingly. So maybe he was using the child. Oh, because she makes the wish too to take the baby.
Yeah, take the baby.
So he's taking the baby, but I think part of his motivation is to get her to stay in the
That makes
process of like
sense.
trying to recover the baby. Because I think even
She's
in
the
the end,
bait.
he's like offering like a trade or something. Like, you know, the vibe is definitely like he loves her, you know, in this kind of evil Bowser kind of way.
That makes sense.
I'm
When she
fascinated by the
makes the
Labyrinth.
wish,
Me too.
when she makes the wish, it's because she's angry at her baby brother for taking her teddy bear. She's like 14 though.
Yeah,
That seems like an unreasonable thing to be upset about. He's a baby. That's who teddy bears are for.
it's not fair. Well, part of it's that the stepmother.
I thought it was she had to
mean.
babysit. I thought it was she was mad because she has to babysit.
She
But
definitely
also,
is. Yeah.
he was messing with
Yeah.
the teddy bear, whose name is, what's the teddy bear's name? Like, I don't remember.
Well,
She had a funny
she's
name.
basically trying to
Forgot
masturbate to
about
like
the
the
teddy bear.
latest Twilight you know, novel. You know, like if that's where she's at, and like there's this baby crying in the other room, and she's like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm a teenager. I've got all these hormones. I'm trying to get my fucking swag on, and this fucking baby's in
Yeah.
here." You know, because like she's like
So
very
that-
like Jareth is very much like a projection of like
Right.
like a female teenager's fear of male sexuality, because like he's got this big package and he's like sexy and shit in this like, you know, way that's
I didn't
non-gendered.
I think
don't
the
really
thing that
agree with
prevents
that. I
him
didn't think
from
it was sexual.
he's,
I don't think
the
Jareth
thing
was
that
sexual.
I feel like he's very, very sexual. But
Well,
the
not
thing
to
that
her
I feel
though. Not to her.
like prevents him from coming off as creepy or aggressive is that right from the beginning, I think it's clear that he is a projection of like her fantasies and what she. That's why he never seems imposing to her, because I always get the sense that he is a result of her projections and own sexual undercurrent.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Well, they really suggest that the whole thing is a fantasy, because when they go to her room and you like go across like all these like little objects in her house that are like connected, like there's this maze that's like one of those marble mazes, and then there's a couple other examples where like you could feasibly say that she was just sitting in a room fantasizing for like, you know, 2 hours because the baby fell asleep or something.
I was. Can I chip in here? I wrote down some stuff on a less symbolic and more literal, well, still symbolic. I thought there's a moral story in this, like a relatively, I guess, boring one, but she has to learn gratitude for what she has and responsibility, because before she goes into this realm, she's like very selfish. She's like, like selfish to the point where she's telling a baby to like shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then what she has to do is, I think, like, you know, that world would be a symbol of her responsibility to deal with, I don't know, you know what I mean, on an everyday level. I feel like that was the lesson mainly she learned, because when you don't know you had till you lose it, basically. And that was a baby she lost.
Mm-hmm.
It could even be her innocence, you know? It could be she lost her innocence with the
Well,
baby.
it is a coming of age story.
Yeah. You lose your innocence totally as soon as your voice starts to get lower. No, it's going to get weird.
Can we talk about Hoggle?
Yes.
Let's please talk about Hoggle.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He's got the face
I literally
of
cannot
a long-term
picture.
alcoholic.
Hobo. No.
I can't even fathom like a character more like accurately portraying like all the disgusting things that are true about men, you know? Like he's a fucking snitch. He just like kills fairies for a living and like doesn't give a shit about it. Like he's like uncaring, unfeeling, like a weasel. Like but he's also like the best character.
He ends up being the hero, yeah.
Yeah.
We can talk about, there's some very obvious lessons in this, and one of them is, she says he's a hero, and it has to do with the concept of bravery being pulled from fear. Because he's also very scared. he's also very literally. It's
He's like
despite how
cowed by
shitty
spineless.
Jareth. Yeah.
Yeah, Jareth is on his heels. So, yeah. So she says he's the bravest. She's the bravest because he conquered his fear.
Yeah, Hoggle has like the most like dynamic character arc. Like there are other characters like Didymus, like he starts as a hero. Like he doesn't really change at all, you know. He's just there like doing like the thing that a noble fox does, which is ride a dog around some farting swamp.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yep.
The Bog of Eternal Stench. Should we go into that?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
funny.
poop.
I liked it.
It's basically the worst thing, which is like, you know, being like stranded in a place that's like only poop. This eternal stench. It's not gonna
never
stop
stops.
spelling.
Yeah, it's like a
so
smell
imagine
that
if
like sticks to you.
Breeze,
it's like a
air
superpower.
freshener,
Yeah.
Superpower
blades,
stench.
plug-in refill.
Well,
Yeah.
like that's such a great like obstacle. I guess that's the best term for it, you know? Like it like the Bog of Eternal Stench is it's a place, but it's also like a monster, you know? It's like an enemy. It's an obstacle. It's a really cool, like, I love this about fantasy, how they can take like concepts and turn them into spaces, and then just like you don't have to explain it, you know. Like we could like cut to like show like, you know, a bunch of butts like under the water or something, you know, but that would like take you out of it. Instead they just show like the surface, like, you know. It's like so fucking good. Like I
I think it's cool because it's a magical. But the way I view it is like, even though it's a magical realm, it still has a sewage system. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You're like, oh, these goblins poop.
That's what I love about goblins. Like I play Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a dungeon master myself. And the way that I use goblins is very much like this sort of, like much in the same way that like Waluigi is like a perversion of a perversion of a perversion. You know, like you start with Mario and then you get Luigi and then you pivot to Wario and then you pivot from there to Waluigi. Like and by the time you get to Waluigi, like all the meaning has just been drained out.
That's the poop. Yeah,
Yeah, like
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's like a symbol of like waste, really. Like I think of it as like the drained subconscious of the land above, like all the garbage
Right.
thoughts and all the tension and all the shit on surface value. Like the Bog of Eternal Stench is like the unconscious below it,
yeah, it's almost
which
like
stinks.
yeah, it's like it's at the edge of the abyss, like the philosophical concept of the abyss, but like and it has many of the same effects. Like if you look at Nietzsche, who says like if you stare into the abyss, the abyss stares into you, or if you fight monsters, you become a monster. Like he's talking about the effect, the changing effect that like that sort of emptiness can have on you, and like the Bog of Eternal Stench. It's not the void, it's not the abyss, it's worse, you know, because it's this persistence that like, you know, fucking sucks. Like, you know, they managed to like embody entropy in this way that like even, you know, Western philosophers haven't really been able to crack. But it's also like a feminist film, and most philosophy is you know, informed by men, wealthy men.
It's
Wealthy enough for printing presses.
It's the torture place. It is. It's like, right? Because they don't have like things you get hung on racks from, or like those things you get put on. But I imagine Jareth, if you're in trouble,
Yeah.
will send you to the Bog of Eternal Stench.
Yeah.
Like it's like getting sent to the corner of your room when you do something bad.
Oh man, yeah, no, it's a teenage girl's worst nightmare.
Poop. Yeah, you don't want to stink.
Yeah, I mean it's any teenager's worst nightmare.
Let me stand up for poop, though. I mean, we all poop, you know. It's all got to go somewhere, even in this goblin realm, you know. I would go up to a goblin and be like, "Oh, so you think your shit don't stink? I've been to the bog. I've been down to the bog, dog. That stank eternal." no Axe body wash can get rid of that stank because it's
That's
coming
stank
from your
that
spirit,
stinks.
your stanky soul. Yeah. Can souls stink like poop? Because that's where
I hope not.
I hope not too.
I think
It's like
that
fair.
I think that smell and like the occult concept of auras are kind of similar. Like I think that when you like smell people, okay, so like for instance, a lot of schizophrenic people, apparently like they smell bad, and part of the reason why they have schizophrenia is because they can like pick up on, other people smelling them and like wanting to be away from them, and that like isolation drives them insane. That's like one theory that I read. So I don't
That
know how
sounds
much, you know.
sounds like it gives too much credit to smell, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, smell
Maybe in a
rules
small
everything.
level.
Like
I know, but their behavior is enough to push people away
yeah.
more than the stink. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I did this, well, I did that, but I worked as a mental health counselor. For
Oh,
2
good
years.
for you.
Oh, that I never heard anything about that.
No, I
Never
read
that.
this like in the last like 5 years or something, and
Yeah,
and
good
like I
for
said,
me. Good
no,
for
no,
me.
I
Yes.
When do I get
Yes,
to fight?
actually, good for me. Maybe if it was like I did 5 pull-ups or something. This was 3 years of it. Did suck. It was like $11 an hour. Fucking, it's getting bitched at.
exploitation, man,
Hand signals.
exploitation. Do you all want to do some snake facts?
Oh yeah, dog. I got a new snake fact. Want to take a short break and then
Yeah.
come back with the snake facts?
If we're taking
'Cause
a
I
short
gotta-
break, I'm gonna go smoke like a couple things.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
meth.
We'll come back for
I'll be in
that.
Florida. I'll be in
You get-
Florida when we come back smoking meth at the swamp.
Hanging from trees, shitting on heads.
That's right. We'll be back soon.
I love you.
That was good. That was good. I like we take breaks halfway because I usually have to. Because they're stupid.
Stupid.
Why? Stupid. It's true. A lot of times you get real dumb.
2 pussies.
What's that? What's that from? Oh, that's from Purple Onion.
Live at the Purple Onion, yeah.
Zach Galifianakis. Dude, I just watched that. It's so awesome.
It's a great set.
It is.
His racial jokes don't really land, but
It's half bombing too. He's like bombing for half of it, but it's like
Yeah.
it's fine. It's like whatever.
well, like the order that he tells
bombing,
his racial jokes is like weird, because like he's got this great joke about combining the NAACP with the Mothers Against the Drunk Driving, and it would be called Mothers Against the Advancement of Color People. And like that's fucking hilarious. And if he had opened with that, it would have like slapped. But instead, like his first racial joke is are there any Asian or black people in the back? Like like that was his opening racial joke. So like every single other racial joke like after that was like the context.
like-
Goofball
racial stuff. Like,
Yeah.
It's like he's never taken.
Like that would be a good
Yeah.
like
That would
closing
jump up.
racial joke, But like
I
instead,
agree.
I'm watching it with my black girlfriend, and like she's cracking up and shit. But then like like by that joke, the
That's-
MAACP joke, like she's not having it, Like
That's
and,
the whole thing, though. That's what makes it fucking like a mess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Not
like,
to
it's
argue,
just a
you're right,
queuing-
though.
It's just a queuing issue. Like if you had just told
Yeah.
the jokes in a different sequence, like it
Yeah.
wouldn't have like been like
Did he start with that NAACP joke? Was that the first one he took?
That was the third one, and that's when like
That's still
my
close.
girl was just like, yeah, this is just
Lost him.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
he lost
Yeah.
her at that
It's
point.
almost like why it's not that I don't like his racial stuff, but all of his other stuff is so goofy that like I might get confused about what his message is,
Well,
He
yeah, because
He plays with the literal a lot too. So like, this is my impression of a child who has a beard, something like that. I don't like having facial hair. It itches.
yeah.
That's my favorite
My
joke.
beard hurts.
My beard hurts.
This is my impression of
It
Adrian
hurts!
Beard. My beard
Yeah,
hurts. That's so fucking good.
No, he goes, I don't like having a beard. It hurts!
Yeah. My beard hurts.
My beard hurts.
It's so good.
It is. It's so stupid, too. It's
Yeah.
just, why write smart material? It's just...
I love
Fuck, I
his
have to
interviews.
pee again, then I'll be right back.
Okay. We've been
Are we
recording.
recording?
Yeah, we've been
Okay.
recording.
Well, we'll just pretend.
I'll just edit it. It'll
Alright.
be fine.
Yeah. You got the editor.
Let me see if the upload is proceeding accordingly. Cool. We have 13 minutes left. Now that we've got like a good rhythm, I feel like we can start kind of looking at like scheduling and like posting stuff like on a specific day. And then like once we're consistent with that, like mainly just me training myself to like, do the deadline appropriately. We could start like putting our stuff up on YouTube, or like not YouTube, like iTunes, like on the podcast thing. We can like start converting video to audio. Yeah, I feel like we've got a good rhythm, and we could probably start pushing it out a little bit more.
Yeah, sounds. I agree.
Cool. Do you listen to podcasts at all?
I probably have been like more lately. I like the Your Mom's House podcast family of podcasts, and I recently started listening to one where Mark Paul Gosselaar watches old episodes of Saved by the Bell and then gives his take.
Oh, that's fun.
Called Zach to the Future. I like that. That's
All right. Get my hair ready. Take another head of weed.
I've been watching or listening to this podcast series. We're on the podcast corner talking about podcasts. Let me get the name right. It's these two female comedians. The podcast is called Newcomers. It's let me see. I forget their names. It's not important at the moment. But yeah, it's called Newcomers. In the first series, they watch Star Wars for the first time and like talk about it as like non-fans. So it's really amusing as someone who knows the material, but isn't necessarily like I'm not a Star Wars fan. I love watching Star Wars and dissecting it and like seeing like fans like react to it. Like it's fucking like it's like football for me. Like fan fights and shit. Like I love that stuff. Like in was it not Force Awakens, but the one afterwards where Luke Skywalker throws the fucking lightsaber off a cliff and then like milks like the fucking the very like visual image of like a Star Wars like super nerd, which is like just this like breast laden like suffering alien, and he's just like milking it, like Disney just like it wasn't even Disney. That was Ryan what's his name? The guy who did this great mystery film that just came out, Knives Out. Have you guys seen Knives Out?
no,
It's great. Go watch Knives Out. Like
I
it's a
started
fucking
to watch
fantastic
it.
movie. It's like
So
it's like if Wes Anderson wasn't too fucking precious for his own good.
Oh, that sounds cool.
So we're shouting all kinds of stuff. What was the podcast that you recommended to the people?
Oh, Newcomers.
Newcomers.
Yeah, it's really funny. And I love like new people's perspectives. Oh, my cats are actually
Newcomers.
getting.
Are they having sex?
Yeah.
We got some cat porn here on Stay in the Loop with Snoop.
Hey.
Knock it off. Hey, quit banging.
Quit banging.
Quit banging.
Dude, the white one looks so embarrassed.
Yeah, he does. Sorry, cats. I had no idea that was gonna happen. That was a whole new section of the show called Cats Bang.
It's easy for a bottom, but like when you're the top and you're performing, like and then you get called out. Yeah, I can see how that might fuck with you.
You get called out.
My cat,
No,
Daniel,
motherfucker.
he's just kind of
Yeah.
like, well, that
It's
was
my
nice.
power play. So the podcast name is Newcomers, and they discuss what?
Oh, so the first series they talk about the Star Wars saga. So
Okay.
like the 9 episodes of Star Wars, like the film
Okay.
episodes. Right now they're doing Lord of the Rings. They started with the proper trilogy, and now they're watching The Hobbit, which is a trash fire, as some of you may know.
I read those books. Check it out.
Yeah,
it's
so funny because it's just like this non-biased perspective where they like review the plot and like talk about their experiences with watching it, and they're very harsh. Like I can totally see them getting like Twitter harassed and stuff from like some of their hot takes on these beloved franchises. I'm really hoping they do the Harry Potter series because that would be fucking hilarious.
We got to make a Twitter page for Western Mass Comedy Group, and we can get in on this, controversy.
Harassment.
Yeah, trolling. We can start
Get some
trolling.
harassment. No,
Western
we
Mass
get
Comedy
harassed.
Group trolls.
As
Yeah, we're gonna be
artists.
trolling. Oh, we don't get
yeah.
trolled.
No, we get trolled. Because we're artists.
The trollies.
We should have a podcast
Take
called
three.
WMCG Trolls.
So.
Yeah.
Maybe like a
I
monthly
agree.
thing,
I
where we just,
agree.
like,
Well, that's what we
tear
should.
apart.
We need a
podcasts.
Twitter. Well, we've been doing that with the Huffington. I want to apologize to newcomers for getting mixed up with some cat porn there.
No,
we went from promoting Newcomers. Newcomers is a great show. Hey, these cats are banging over here. Yeah.
They're all about horniness.
Good.
My camera's so frozen. Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys.
It's great.
So we're gonna pull from the website So Reliable 77 interesting snake facts. So far, we've made it through snake facts. We've made it through snake fact 1 through 30, you guys. Whoa! And this is episode, I forgot to say because I'm a terrible host, episode 15. Welcome back, bitches. You ready for the snake fact, you guys?
And gentlemen.
And gentlemen, we got snake fact 31.
Please be inclusive.
I'm sorry, gentlemen and ladies and
Bitches
whatever
and
you
gentlemen.
identify as. With no irony or sarcasm, snake fact, it doesn't matter. Snakes are great for everybody.
Is there a
snake
band
fact.
called Sarclasm?
Should be.
Jason, will you let me do my snake fact here? I set it up and everything. Snake fact 31 on episode 15, and we can get your react on the snake fact. Okay, this one's crazy, you guys. The amount of food a snake eats determines how many offspring it will have. The aerophile snake eats the least and lays just one egg every decade. Just one egg every decade. So you guys, these snakes that eat a lot more, they be having more kids.
So the hornier, the better.
Yeah, if you want to have kids.
Snakes.
Yeah, if you can only handle a few kids, maybe just eat a cheeseburger every now and then. All right, not much reactions on that.
I'm trying to fix my camera, so I feel like
Okay.
I missed some like key fact there that sounded interesting.
Well, okay, so as proof that the amount of food a snake eats causes how many kids it'll have, the aerophile snake eats the least, and because of this, it lays just one egg every decade.
Boo.
Oh, okay.
Boo, yeah.
You know what I got to say about that?
So eat more, bang more, more kids.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Full play.
good,
Sure.
good. You know,
Good.
like we've been doing snake facts for 17
Good.
episodes now, but I'll tell you one basic fact about snakes: they fucking suck. Snakes suck.
What? What?
Nobody
You
likes
wait
snakes.
till now to say this?
Dude,
You wait till now to say this?
even gardener snakes are poisonous. Like
You are kind of alone on this subject.
Hey,
I
man.
like snakes.
hey man,
I like snakes. Don't
Look,
snake shame.
no, I'm
Look, I'll
not-
cancel culture you.
Okay.
Jason's off snake shaming.
yeah.
I
okay.
like snakes.
All
It's
right.
okay you don't like
Uh-oh.
snakes.
Uh-oh.
You're
Jason,
not
I think
alone.
I know somebody's got something to say about that.
Okay,
It's a
I'm not.
snake.
It's a banana snake.
Adult banana snake. Well, this is interesting. We should post a poll. Do you like snakes? Yes or no?
Are snakes?
I would guess.
Are snakes tight?
Are snakes tight? I would guess like 48% snakes are tight. Depending on if they understood "are snakes tight," what that question meant.
Right. Yeah. There
yeah.
might be some like people who are like, snakes are actually pretty loose.
50-50.
Unless it's in a Roboros and they're biting their own tail, there's no tension. So snakes are actually, by definition, like very.
I bet it's 50-50 on the snake poll. Are snakes tight? Half the crowd would be like, you didn't have to ask if snakes are tight. Snakes are the tightest. And the other crowd's like, snakes ain't that tight. I ain't feeling that shit.
The option should
I ain't
be
feeling that snake shit.
The option should be yes, no, or what?
What? Yeah. Well, we're not the only group to comedically explore animals. It's good comedy, especially snakes provide a lot of material for comics nowadays. If you look online at the jokes, they're probably 75% about snakes.
So snakes are hot.
Snakes are real hot. Right now,
well,
they have been snakes. You ask if snakes are hot. Snakes have been the hottest for the last 10 years, and this is part of the pro snake.
Snakes have been owning
propaganda.
Snakes are owning the market.
They've been dominating.
The market share is all snakes.
It'd be like, you got money? Shit, you mean I got snakes?
Did you see the ticket sales for snakes on a plane?
Dude, huge, exactly. And yet you have the nerve to be anti-snake. Ryan, are you pro-snake or anti? We got
pro.
Their box office scored in the Mile High Club.
Ryan, I want his snake react. Tight? Snakes tight and not so tight.
Snakes are very tight. Snakes
there we go. Yeah.
They're really cool. Some people say, hey, don't they need arms and legs? And I say, nah.
Nah, they slither.
No, they're just fine without them.
Dude, you know what I say? I say, do you?
Slither on. Bam! Shots fired. So, a snake, specifically. I bought more snakes. Well, we got to get these snakes eaten more. We got to intake this snake. Feed the snakes. We got to start on feed the snakes.
Feed the snakes.
Please
feed the snakes.
So we're trying to get more snakes is what we're saying here. So again, I'll go back to what I was saying earlier. I'm against this plan. Like, it's fun to talk about snakes, but like I don't want to look at a snake necessarily. Like, give me a spider or like even a friggin' centipede.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'll take a wasp in the face.
What?
Spider over snakes? That's insane.
Dude, that's crazy.
You can crush a spider with like one finger.
Snakes are peaceful. They keep to themselves. You get little bugs and stuff. They crawl over you.
Yeah, but like
the laws are clear.
The laws are clear.
I bet you're not even wearing deodorant.
If a bug gets in your face, you can squash it, and there's no question. Like it's nothing like you. It's skeletons on the outside. It's like not even 100th of your size.
You sound like a murderer.
So that's
like a murderer.
Okay,
right now.
Okay, but like
your
snakes.
Standard is what's the easiest to murder?
Like what's the easiest to murder? Yeah, that is why you sound like a murderer. You're like, oh, it's only got so many. So it crack nice and easy.
Okay, let me just put this a different way. Okay, like invertebrates are not cute. Vertebrates are cute. Mammals are cuter. Snakes are not mammals. Snakes are cold-blooded.
Snakes are adorable.
You see a snake, you're in your garden. You're you're weeding the garden. Maybe bringing in some squash or some tomatoes, and suddenly a snake jumps out at you, and you're like, oh, it's so cute, and then. Next thing you know, you're in the hospital, and there's a nurse sucking that venom right out of your ankle.
That ain't even gonna happen in Western Massachusetts, so we gotta worry about that. We're not venomous snake bites over here in the Pioneer Valley.
I would argue it's just as likely to happen with a spider as well.
Yeah, they got venom.
Spiders are so great. Snakes can bite you and be poisonous. I got news for you. Spiders can bite you and be poisonous.
Yeah, but snakes don't like come into your house and take care of your fly problem. Like,
They help with gardens somehow. I
yeah,
remember
that's
they
true.
help with
That's true.
gardens. They
Yeah,
do. They help.
they eat beetles and shit.
So I like snakes. One of the reasons I'm upset that you definitively don't like snakes
That I am
is
standing
because,
against
well,
snakes.
have had a bad rep from the start. You know, snake is the demon, the Garden of Eden. It was the original prey that our caveman selves had to look out for. But no one ever noticed. Just because of the way it looks, people are like, snakes.
Yeah, and meanwhile, like, occultists and Scorpios are getting tattoos of snakes on their bodies, you know?
What a waste. What a waste of a snake that is.
Well, I mean...
Fake snake. It's a fake snake.
And
I think
in the East, the snake, the serpent of Kundalini, the
Can
force...
you get them on to show their snake tattoos? On today's Snake Facts, we got snake tats.
Ryan,
Ryan, can you stop putting your damn bananas in the screen so often? He's like always trying to find a way to introduce the easy gag of a banana.
He's always making it about his bananas.
His bananas. Ryan, it's not just about your bananas over there, all right? I know you're glad to have a couple manners, but not everybody's got a couple manners right now.
Ring, banana
Jason,
phone.
I ain't got a single banana to spin. Oh,
that's going in the clip. That's going into the best of.
I wouldn't say cut any of this so far. I've been saying, like snakes, we've been crushing it.
I'm gonna say like and subscribe
to Snake Facts. Oh, we're gonna make it. This is future advertising. We're going to make a Twitter. I hope you sign up, and I promise you, this poll of "Are Snakes Tight" is going up on Twitter. Western Mass Comedy Group. We might even put it as part of the Western Mass Comedy Group's page because our fans love Snake Facts. One positive review I've gotten from this show is, when are you going to do Snake Facts? So clearly we're not alone in our fascination.
Also, I'd like to remind everyone to vote this coming November.
How about that?
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
On today's politics, just do it. I know it's
just saying, go vote.
Just go numbly stand in a line and cast a bullet for some old man that looks like a baby monkey. His face.
I'll go with you.
Face of a baby monkey.
I'll go with you. I'll hold your hand.
Baby monkey.
We can
face.
wear one mask together.
Don't vote for a baby monkey face. You know what I noticed? Trump, and I called it. As soon as can't talk straight. As soon as I heard Trump call Biden Sleepy Joe, I was like, oh, he's going to stick with that because that's a pretty sick burn. Sleepy Joe.
I mean,
that's a dope line. I'm sorry, not pro-Trump. I'm worried because I'm like, he's going to catch him with Sleepy Joe.
I mean,
just 2 words.
We'll see.
2 words.
We'll see.
Because he is sleepy.
I mean, worst case scenario is that democracy dies on our watches, and we slide into a fascist dictatorship.
I want a sleepy president. I think.
Yeah, I know. I'll take a sleepy leader over this fucking meth addict.
Yeah, he's like, legislating.
He's getting like direct like injections of like, speed and vitamins, like, the kind of shit that would make JFK look like a lightweight.
Like Hitler.
Yeah.
That's what Hitler was doing. He was fucking amphetamines shot into his butt every day.
And he still can't even read the daily fucking intelligence report from the CIA.
Oh, he chose not to.
Yeah.
He's
just like,
he didn't want outside interference.
Fake news.
Well, he was like, I don't want to be influenced.
These people have been serving this country for their entire fucking lives, and like don't make anything about politics, like unless they absolutely fucking have to. Like, I mean, it's like this is a security issue at this point, and the fact that like so many of our fellow citizens seem to want this man to ruin the country, and most likely the world, is kind of horrifying. And I hope they all die of COVID when they go out to vote this November, not wearing any masks. I really do. Fuck them all. Fuck all of them. I'm gonna say it right here.
People are dying.
Yeah.
Go for it. People are dying. Case rates are going up.
Yeah, go drown in your own lungs, you son of a fucking piece of shit.
Seriously, because you're risking other people's lives, and don't say it's a thing about freedom. It's a thing about decency. You know what I mean? That's what I hate about it. Is like it's actually not about words like freedom. It's about human decency.
Yeah,
Really.
and like not
Yeah.
to be redundant, but like going back to Nixon, he at least had the fucking um balls
Oh yeah.
to resign, you know? When it was like at the end of the day and it was clear that he was like, compromised by his lust for power, he fucking stepped off, you know? Like
Mm.
He
and
did.
that's more valuable than what we're looking at right now.
So let's dedicate this episode to Richard
Oh, wait.
Nixon, who has gone so far into making this a great episode.
Yeah.
You got the sandwich, and you got that great thing Jason just
I got
said.
the new name. I got the new name for our podcast.
The
The Pro Nixon podcast. The only Pro Nixon podcast.
Love Nixon. Love
We
Nixon.
love Nixon. Big fans of Nixon. Fans of
man.
Nixon are huge fans of Nixon's. They're like, I don't care if he was tricky dick. I just liked his cheating ways.
Well, so you guys know how he recorded like all of his like phone calls and like meetings and shit?
That's
Nothing wrong
before
with
we all
cheating.
did it.
So
Yeah.
all of that shit is on Spotify. Like you can go
Oh,
on
really?
Spotify. Yeah.
Wait, Nixon's phone calls?
Yeah, like all the shit that
Nixon's phone calls?
Yeah,
That's
dude.
dope.
Yeah. Like you'll hear him saying some shit that's just utterly revolting and like, fuck that piece of trash, like for sure.
Hey, I thought we were pro Nixon. We
No,
can't
man.
flip
Like
that.
go listen to
We
his
got
the
a Nixon
recordings.
flip flopper.
The
No,
way
I know.
the way he talks about like the Jewish diaspora and Black Americans is just monstrous. Like just
It's a
fucking
waste of intelligence because he
Yeah.
was really smart. But he used it all. He is a good speaker. I'm gonna say some pro Nixon things. He is good at. I watched those interviews where the guy thought he was gonna take him down, and Nixon honed him. But that's what makes that kind of guy dangerous. Charisma. People only get away with that kind of corruption if they're all charismatic. Nixon was charismatic, weird, grumpy. Grumpy people, I think, like Nixon. They're like, all right, like their emotions speak in the same grovelly tone, and his voice is like, nothing very like it.
Well, we all relate to that feeling, Like he had
True.
like his tone was always like, I just woke, why the fuck did I have to wake up for this bullshit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's some pro Nixon.
We've all been there.
We're gonna do it. Is Nixon tight? Poll.
Yeah.
Our snake's tight. Is Nixon tight?
Yeah.
We have to make tight look tight. The word, you know what I mean? Like with flashy graphics that look super dope. So they
Yeah,
know
I'll
what
get
tight
rid of
means.
it.
Like Superfly font.
Just so fucking cool.
Tight, yeah. You got to go full balls to the wall with a word like tight. You know, you gotta
Yeah.
be like tight. You can't say tight. You gotta be like tight.
I'll do like a teenage stepdad style, like, drop shadow with like the
Yeah,
like multiple layers of effects.
dude. I bet it'll get like 2 like, and that's awesome. Like snakes are. Yeah, so we're gonna uncover the truth about the Huffington Post, because remember, we don't know, but we had, as if they're not coming after us, I had a gaseous drug-inducing drug that made me more impressionable shot in through my windows by 4 beaming eyes. Ryan's, they've been stalking him from trees, shining sniper rifles at you. Yeah, so that's not good. That's not peaceful at all.
Apparently not enough for Ryan though.
No, Ryan wants more. If Huffington Post, if you're looking for more, Ryan, like we said, we're not with flag. So now that I think about it, me too.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
I'm not afraid.
You can
I'm
handle
not
it.
afraid. Yeah. So this is the section of the show where we don't know what to talk about next. We could do another snake fact. I kind of want to just keep going. So I want to load it up with another snake fact and maybe a call to Steve Yarbrough to find out what he's up to.
Hey, I'll give you a snake fact.
Okay.
I gotta take a leak.
That's not a snake fact. Go for it. Ryan and I will hold it down. This is a test to see if Ryan and I are actual friends.
Okay, you got this.
All right,
You accept, Ryan?
Yep,
We're
but I also have to start simultaneously doing some work.
That's okay. It's the anything goes. The structureless nightmare. No, we got our structures. We got our Yarbroughs. If this is your first time tuning in, when I refer to Steve Yarbrough, I am referring to saxophone legend of Northampton. His lure rings throughout all the Pioneer Valley, not just for his ability to hold down a regular saxophone, but to do the voted sickest sax solos in all Massachusetts, 2013 and 2014. He can also I've seen him do. Ryan, you were there that time. You did a 22-minute saxophone solo at Bishop's Lounge. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was sick. He's also really handsome, right, Ryan? That doesn't hurt. He's a beautiful, beautiful man.
True.
He's still playing rock and roll, and he's just a beautiful dude. And we're always kind of just wondering. You know, you got that one friend where you always think, like, I wonder what he's up to right now. That's the way Stephen Yarbrough is. All three of us, he nearly occupies half of the attention in our head half the day. That's how awesome the guy he is. So usually we call him up, and it's a pretty good time. I think I'm gonna get that queued up. Are you ready, Ryan?
Uh-huh.
Can you think of a question to ask Steve?
Okay.
All right. So I don't have to ask specifically. So I don't have to. But if you can't think of anything, I'll hold it down. Okay.
Buddy font.
Hi, Steve.
How you doing?
Not much. Hey, Ryan, can you hear that?
Yep.
Okay, so we got Steve Yarbrough on the line for the section he barely agreed to doing called the Where Stephen Yarbrough section. Steven, where are you at right now?
Right now, westbound on Route 9 towards Amherst.
Traveling, man. You got a rock and roll show there or something?
I'm on my way to a school to teach music lessons remotely.
Do you have to keep 6 feet away from the student?
Well, it's all online, so we're miles apart.
Oh, okay. Do you want to how about this? You want to promo your independent saxophone solo classes?
Sure, I'm a saxophone, clarinet, and piano teacher, and I am available to do online lessons in learning those instruments or music theory or songwriting.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
You ever get mad at a student when you're kind of trying to taking them really long to learn it, and it seems like they can't just figure it out, and you're like, I have to tell you this again?
I do that mostly on the inside. I try not to get mad in their face, but yeah, it can be frustrating when a student isn't practicing.
Have you ever flipped out during a lesson?
Have I flipped up it? What was that?
You know, like flipped out during a saxophone lesson and be like,
I've come pretty close.
Yeah,
I
what was
raised my voice when I didn't need to. It has happened.
The results you get from Steve Yarbrough is he might yell at you, but the results but if you look at the results, it turns out that it expedites their learning, if anything. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, if I'm getting mad at you, it's a good sign.
So, how many students you got now?
Oh, looking at about
Is that Steve Yarbrough?
It is.
20
Hold
right
on.
now, somewhere in there.
Hold on.
Steve.
Yes, it is. Steven, Jason's here. I was just asking you how many students you got now.
Something like between 15 and 20.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your youngest student and your oldest student?
My youngest student is maybe 10,
Yeah.
and
Aww.
the oldest right now is a senior in high school. But I've had students upwards of 50 or 50, 60 years old.
So you only teach lessons to high schoolers?
moment, it's 5th grade through 12th grade.
Are they all like? Do any of them have really bad acting? It interferes with their lessons, and you have to tell them like, "Calm down, just focus on solos."
I don't notice details like that. It's all very musical and not personal.
Are you ever high or drunk during the lessons?
Not anymore. Learn my lesson.
These are great questions. Do they allow smoking? Do they allow smoking cigarettes?
I mean, since the lessons right now are all remote and online, they can do whatever they want in the comfort of their own home.
I mean, are you allowed to smoke, or would it like ruin your credibility if you're, like, ripping down butts during the lessons?
I feel like it might set a bad example if I were to be ripping bong during lessons. And also, it's hard to do problem solving if you're high as a kite.
No, I said ripping butts, slamming down cigarettes.
Oh, cigarettes? Yeah, I guess kind of a bad example. I'd save that for after hours.
You could say, though, they're not in the same room. No secondhand smoke. You could tell that to their parents.
When are the after hours?
I'll keep that in mind if I jones too hard and break down and have a cigarette in the middle of a 5th grader's lesson.
I want to see that on video. You should record your emotional lapse during a saxophone lesson.
If I get to that point, I will definitely record it for you.
I thank you. I want to see you flip out during a saxophone lesson. Sounds awesome.
Oh, can you ask Steven if he's ever had like?
We're having lessons, you and I would flip out.
Hold on, Jason just asked the question because you're on the same line.
Okay.
Jason's got a question for you.
Steve, first, up front, thank you for taking my question. My question is, have you ever had like beef with other teachers? Like, have you had like a taekwondo teacher like snipe a student from you, or like a tutor who like scheduled over you, like have you ever had like other teachers that like, you just they just seem to mess with you?
Steven?
Sort of like a martial arts.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, did you hear the question?
I did not hear the question.
Okay, the question was, is there ever another who's like trying to be better than you and kind of trying to control the scene, like kind of like two enemies in a martial arts movie?
Usually that's me.
That's you?
I'm very competitive as a teacher.
Okay. So you ever take a swipe that way? You ever take a swipe at a teacher?
You ever throw hands?
Yeah.
I don't usually resort to violence.
You ever knock a block off a teacher, off a fellow teacher? Go block knock
I
him?
definitely wanted to.
Yeah, so there's a lot of competition between the saxophone solo teachers.
There is sort of undertones of it, but only because we all want as many students as possible. But overall, it is a pretty congenial profession. And
Are you ever like mid saxophone solo and you're like, oh my god, I'm being embraced by the darkness, but I'm just going to allow it to take me, and you just keep playing?
Every time, man.
The dark place.
Has you ever had a rival saxophonist burst into his house?
Steven, I do have to ask a question for you. I guess Jason wants to know, have you ever had a rival saxophonist bust into your house?
So far, I've been lucky, and that hasn't happened.
Maybe you need to get busted. Maybe that means you gotta get busted.
No, I'm happy for Steve. I think that's great.
Jason approves. I do not. Ryan, do you think Steve should be busting into fellow saxophonists' house to prove a lesson?
Yep.
Okay. So 2 out of 3 here, Steve, suggests that you go bust down doors of fellow saxophone teachers to kind of show them what's up. It's the right thing. It's the right thing to do, if you ask me.
Mark your territory.
It does show initiative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
show them who's boss.
All right, so we got another. This is a controversial question. We're got a controversial question. Are snakes tight, or snakes ain't tight really?
Say that again?
Okay, so are snakes tight, or I don't really like snakes. You know, like snakes that, huh?
I think snakes are tight.
All right.
Hmm.
Jason, that's 3 out of 4 that think snakes are tight now.
I
And I
didn't
say
they
you're in the
weren't.
deep end. Oh, you kind of did. You took that. So Jason doesn't like snakes at all.
I just
What do you think?
suggested that
Have a hot-
they should slow down, you know?
Okay, Jason has a reasonable.
Snakes
Steve, hold on. If I have a request, if you can pass this on to snakes, Jason wants them to slow down, and I agree with that.
I will tell every snake I see to slow down.
Thank you.
But I'll also let them know that I think they're tight.
Hell yeah.
See, there we go. That's reaching across the aisle, right? what I like.
That's right.
That's right. That's how you do it. That's diplomacy. We are somewhere between snakes are tight and snakes, you know, they're okay, but they ain't really tight.
I think it's important that we reach out to the snakes because they can't reach out to us because they don't have arms.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down. That's a good point. So it's our job. It's our job.
Yeah, it's our obligation.
It's our obligation. Does that mean we have to go pick up snakes? It's the only.
I think we got to pick up snakes.
I think so. Ryan, Jason, you think we got to pick up snakes? We owe it to them.
Oh
I
yeah,
think so.
yeah.
If I've learned anything
sure.
from a snake, it's that you have to strike first.
Hey, you pick it up. It ain't even. Yeah, you're mixing up strike. We should. Well, you know what you could do? You could strike your fellow saxophone teachers' houses with. You could release snakes into them.
I'll put that in my arsenal.
Even
That would be
just
a
to
good-
suggest that they play a saxophone as though they were a snake, in that they had no arms nor lips. I think
They
that
had
would
no
be a real
arms.
sick burn.
It's true. You gotta get them. You gotta get them snakes out of the studio, Steve. It sounds like some of your associates. Well, snakes are good, so never mind the analogy. But I think, anyways, I think you got to bust down some doors. If there's some either bust, because it sounds like you got competition. You got to take out your rivals. Either just bust down their door. You know what? I show up during dinner, maybe, and literally kick in the door. Not while they're sleeping, and just say like, "This is what's up. You need to get out."
Well,
These are all great ideas.
yeah.
Because if you bust into their house and say you gotta get out, they're gonna be scared.
That is a bold move.
Real bold. You should do it smoking a cigarette too.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and with a tall boy PBR on the other hand, that would be menacing.
Snakes don't have hands.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
this is right.
really excited about this now.
This is Steve, not a snake.
Might be.
You do that, or that's what I was gonna say. You do that, and or release a bunch of snakes in through the window and like under the front doors. Or you could imply, Jason was saying, that you might do it and make them just live in fear of the snakes that show up. Which I think bust down doors is the best option. It's the most obvious.
That's right. You're absolutely diabolical.
Was it my idea? I thought you who had to take out these fellow saxophone teachers.
I had the thought of showing up to their house with a TV on, a cigarette, and throwing snakes at them, yelling at them to tell them to get out of their own house.
Extreme
Sucking
times.
down butts.
Steven.
In their
Extreme
backyard.
times. Extreme times call for extreme measures, Steven.
Hey, I'm at my place. I gotta go.
All right, thank you, Steven. I think that was the best Steve section. Thank you.
Thank you.
We love you. We love you.
We
We love you.
Love you guys.
We love you. We
All
like you. We want to love you, and we are in love with you.
That's right. All right, peace, Steve.
See you later.
I bet he's in someone's backyard
Yeah,
sucking down butts
that's-
right now.
Ripping down Mars,
Yeah.
chowing down spirits. That would be. What's up, Jonan?
Hey.
Hello.
Jonan, you missed all the fun. Just kidding, it's happening now. Saying the Lucas Snoop. This is Ryan Arnold's son, Jonan Arnold. He likes to. He's like a character. He's like a Conan character. Oh, it's Jonan. It's Jonan, Ryan's son. We should have repeat characters who just walk into the background. I wish we could make. I wish Coked Up Werewolf hadn't already been made, because that is by far my favorite character, just of anything of all time. On Conan, he's like, "What's going on, Conan?" It's like, "Calm down, Werewolf." He's like, "I gotta get to this party. You know anywhere to hang out?" And then just gets kicked off the stage. We need the equivalent of a Coked Up Werewolf.
Yeah, we should start doing characters.
Like, actually have background characters, you know?
Like we
who
could
just
do an interview with like one of our
like,
like they just be
Yeah.
like, "I'm a mechanic. I
I'm
work
a
on
mechanic."
horses."
I've seen podcasts do that before, actually. I would play a character. I'd do it. And I won't tell you which character, and I won't tell you if I'm going to do it next episode. It's going to be so subtle, you might not even notice it.
Unless it's
Watch
Civil
out.
War era ghost.
Civil War ghost, you mean? Trying to quit the cigarettes with these things called the electronic cigarettes. Charlie Baker tried to move them, so you got to go down south to Hartford, Connecticut to pick them up over by the shore. It's tough to quit cigarettes, so I bought one of these electronic cigarettes. You might be wondering where they sell these. Over at 7-Eleven, you dummy. Just go talk to Cecily. She'll tell you between the aisle 6.
Hey, well, that's our show for the week.
No. I know. I just bombed my best joke.
No. It's not that you bombed it. It's just that like it lands way better when you have an audience that's like, laughing
exactly.
at like different parts of it.
I was secretly practicing, and I wasn't enjoying doing it myself either. I was acting out of fear. How about that? You know, this is why this podcast is so great, because midstream I might just admit to being scared. How about you guys? It's a scary time, though. It is. We got the pandemic. We got the corona. We got Jonan. Hey, Jonan, can you hear us?
Not really.
No?
I got the headphones in.
I was going to ask, has he seen the Labyrinth, Ryan? No? Okay, so we can't get a hot react from him. There's no react allowed from that. You guys, I looked
The Mask.
We watched The Mask. We took care of that. What's another section? You guys want to do another story? We talked about the Labyrinth. We could do another. Let's do another news story. How's that sound? And what are we gonna watch next week? In case you're still watching, what was the movie we're gonna do next week?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Dope. All right, stay tuned. You guys, I had a hot react. Do you think performance art should be opening back up even with the 6 feet apart thing, or do you think it's still irresponsible to do that at this stage?
I don't think it's possible to do like the 6 feet apart thing unless you're outdoors.
Okay.
Like there's with any event you're gonna have like pods, you know, like people who hang out all the time and you know, COVID be damned kind of shit. Like, but if you do that indoors, then that increases the chances of infection significantly. So unless it's outdoors, then I think currently at the moment it would be irresponsible.
I do too. Despite that, I'm doing it this Saturday because there's so much spit involved still. You know what I mean? A stand-up with like they project hardcore spit onto the microphone and into the crowd because they don't know that much about it. It still might not be safe 6 feet away because those particulates stay in the air way longer.
The aerosol stuff that they've been talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Aerosols. Those stay around in the air and they could you wouldn't see them. You know what I mean? So this virus is dangerous and cases are going back up again. And I feel kind of bad. Do you think I'm supposed to wear a face mask while I'm using the microphone?
I don't know if that's what they expect you to do.
It would look weird, right? It might look kind of cool.
I could give you like a plastic visor or something.
I might wear one. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. I think it's gonna be dope. You know, like hip hop style type stuff. Now wear this during my set. So it look like I'm about to rob a golden treasure chest.
It would be funny if you just wore like one of those like ski masks where your like mouth is just like exposed.
That's like some Sam Kinison shit. That's like performance art. Like you have to be okay not getting a lot to do that.
Yeah.
Sam Kinison has a bit like that. First started and like other comics were giving him credit, but kind of tentatively putting him on stage because he was insane. He went up this one time and he had a black trench jacket on, and he was like, "You dumb motherfucker! You don't know that I don't have a jacket here." Like pacing back and forth. He's like, "You're sitting there in the crowd. Yeah, idiots. You have no idea who I am. You don't know if I could just pull a gun from my jacket." And so like that's what he did for like the first 3 minutes. It's online. It's fucking hilarious.
He's like working them up and shit.
Yeah, he's just threatening them basically. Yeah, that's one of my favorite bits actually, because it's just holy shit. You can only do that at a certain point in your career. You could totally ruin your doing that at the wrong time by threatening to shoot the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Implying he was implying that he could. There was a level of sneakiness to it. He wasn't saying he was going to. He was saying you don't know that I wouldn't. Ryan, when did you end up sitting down outside? Last second I saw you keyboard, and the next second I looked and you're on the lawn, Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi playing.
I got out here quick like a bunny.
Like a goblin.
Like a
damn goblin. I like goblins. What about you? You guys? You like goblins?
As a dungeon master, I have to say that goblins are one of my favorite monsters.
They tight?
Yeah, goblins are tight.
They're nasty. I see a goblin, I like them, but you're nasty.
Oh, my girlfriend's calling me.
Alright. Well, you gonna pick it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Hey, sweetheart, you're on speakerphone.
Welcome to Western Mass Comedy Group. Stay in the loop, you Snoop.
We're doing the podcast. She can't hear you because of my headphones, but Ryan says welcome to the
probably
podcast.
good.
Did I just say Ryan?
Hi,
everyone.
No, yeah, well, you could say Ryan.
Jessica says hi.
I say it too.
Hello. Tell her we say hi too.
Hi there.
Okay.
But maybe I won't.
No, we're almost done. You should come over. That would be cool.
I agree.
That's fantastic.
Okay, I'll see you soon.
Okay, love you.
Bye.
Bye.
That's today's Jason's a Pamp section.
Oh,
sorry, I don't mean to
that's
phrase
nice.
that.
That's sweet.
Jason's a Pamp. That was pretty good. We should get more female voices on the show.
Emotionally.
Entirely overtly male. Pro Nixon podcast.
Yeah.
You know.
Nixon's the best.
Nixon's the best.
I've always thought so.
He is a tricky Dixon. Think anyone calls him? You think anyone mixes up Nixon with Tricky Dick?
I think that we should have that section, that interview section. Like we're gonna interview Austin, maybe.
Yeah.
Like
we could do that on the phone. Yeah.
I think we should wrap.
Yeah, I agree.
I do want to get Austin on like as a guest. I think that'll be
Austin
cool.
Rutledge, local film producers who we might have on the show. We got another guest lined up too. I'm going to keep it a secret until next episode.
Ooh.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was episode 15, y'all. Western Mass Comedy Group. Stay in the loop, you see. We'll be back again next week. If you guys want to watch Revenge of the Killer Clowns.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I was totally wrong. Watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space because that's what we're going to be talking about next. You want to say peace out, you guys?
Peace out, you guys.
Peace.
Boop, boop, boop. And every show with a vicious sneeze.
You're
Beast and the
welcome.
Beast.
You're welcome. Thank you. Sorry. Hey, everyone.
And I'm done recording.